Could this be the best budget microphone for streamers and content creators? Let's find out. My name is Chris, this is Coalition Gaming, and today I'll be your stream technician. This is the Maono HD300T. It is a combo XLR and USB microphone. All metal construction, feels pretty solid and tough and durable. Has, like I said, USB and XLR, has a monitor or a headphone output for zero latency monitoring. Microphone, or rather volume control buttons on it, as well as a on-off sliding switch. And like I said, this is a dynamic microphone, which is honestly, I'd say this is a really good option for streamers and content creators due to the characteristics of what a dynamic microphone is, and that's really good noise rejection by design of how they are. And also included in the package with this microphone is USB Type-C cable. Yes, Type-C, not mini USB like the Samson Q2U, which is its most similar competitor. You get a mic stand, of course. You get a shock mount for the microphone, so that's actually a nice inclusion. And XLR cable, if you're going to be using XLR. And also a pop filter. Right now, this microphone is on Amazon for around $55. It does fluctuate in price, but at that price point, given everything that's included, so far it seems we're off to a good start. But how does this microphone sound? Well, let's get down to the desktop and test it out.
All right, so this mic right here is the AverMedia Live Streamer Mic 330. It's a dynamic microphone. As you can see, it's one of the tube style ones. You talk into it like, well, I guess top address instead of side address, like a lot of condenser microphones. This is the same style of mic, for lack of a better way to put it, as the Maono microphone. Maono. Now this one, I've applied EQ to it, so it sounds better than it would normally, but let me go ahead and remove that EQ and you guys will see it makes a big difference. And now all EQ has been turned off on this microphone. And yeah, I'm sure you guys can tell that there is a pretty obvious difference. This mic, to me, landed in a place where a lot of microphones started coming out that kind of relied on EQ to really get the most out of them. I would say like the Rode Pod mic falls in the same category, which makes sense. This is a $100 dynamic microphone. And there's a lot of competition in that space nowadays. Let's turn the equalizer back on. Okay, and the EQ has been reapplied, and now you can really hear the difference, I'm sure. Anyways, with this mic out of the way, let's get the Maono plugged in and let's see how that sounds. All right, and I've switched over to the Maono microphone, and here we are. You can see how it's set up in my setup and how it sounds. So this is with no EQ. This is the mic raw through my AverMedia Live Streamer Nexus XLR interface. We'll be testing the USB as well after this, but again, this is how the mic sounds raw. Let's add some EQ and see how it sounds after that. Now EQ has been applied to this microphone, a little bit of treble added, a little bit of mids pulled out, a little bit of bass added, and I think it actually sounds pretty good for the money, at least competitive with the other microphone. But again, definitely, I think the this microphone sounded better versus this one when no EQ was available. I've gone ahead and turned the noise gate off as well, so you can hear if this is picking up any noise in the line or any sort of white noise, background noise or anything like that. Maybe how good its rejection is. But yeah, generally though, if you're going to be streaming or doing anything like that, having some kind of noise gate or noise reduction filter, whether that be RTX voice or OBS's noise suppression or something like that, is recommended either way. But being a dynamic already gives it a leg up in that department. And now with EQ, it's definitely, I guess, on par with the $60 to $100 range of microphones. The other mic that's similar to this one, the Samson Q2U, sort of fits the bill too. It punches above its weight class, and I think that's what's happening with this microphone as well. Now, whether it can pull that off over USB remains to be seen, but we'll be testing that next. But first, let's do some other tests with this microphone. This is me talking directly into it, right in front of it. This is me talking from the side. This is me talking from the other side. And this is me talking from behind of it to the best of my ability, at least. This is me talking into the microphone from a few feet away. This is me talking to the microphone from about 8 feet away. And now we're back in front of the microphone. What about plosive rejection right now? I have the included pop filter on it, so let's see how it sounds with that going. Podcastage, please bring pizza pronto. Podcastage is the man, actually. And now with the pop filter out of the way, podcastage, please bring pizza pronto. I'm not so sure how I feel about the plosive test stuff, but if you're going to be using the microphone, I usually would suggest to use it a little bit off axis from your mouth anyways, much like I'm using it here. And you'll also greatly reduce the chance of plosives when you do that. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't perfect either in terms of plosive rejection. But okay. I got to say, though, one thing I do like about this microphone is that for its USB usability, it uses Type-C, which is, the main competitor being the Samson Q2U, which uses mini USB. So old. At least this one has a more up-to-date connector. Okay, and I've moved it into USB now. What you're hearing now is this microphone through USB, but I'm noticing something looking at my bars in OBS. It doesn't seem to run as hot over USB, which means I probably need to go into Windows and make sure that the volume on it is turned up enough in the Windows setting. That's probably all the issue is. So let me check that. It was at 92, and now I moved it up to 100, and it still looks like maybe it has a built-in compressor or something. So as far as peaking the microphone, I think it's a little harder to do over USB. Microphone, peaking. Yeah, it's actually kind of hard to peak it in USB mode. Now, if we switch it over to the XLR, you'll see it's a little easier to peak it. And now we're back via XLR, and now I can probably peak the microphone a little harder. Peak it. Actually, it's still fighting getting into the red pretty well. All right. But this is with EQ. This is the same mic with EQ via my interface. And now if I switch it back to USB, you'll see how it sounds raw with no EQ via USB. And now we are via USB again. And I'm just going to be quieter, so I'm going to have to adjust for that. But yeah, there you go. Now, if you're going to want to EQ this microphone over USB, you're not going to be able to do that so easily for usage in all software. Actually, a new program from SteelSeries called Sonar will let you apply EQ to any USB microphone and for usage in Discord, Skype, OBS, whatever. And I'll link some tutorials down in the description below for you guys to do that, so you can get more of how this mic sounds via XLR, but through USB. Back on XLR, I want to mention one more thing here, is that one of the benefits to these kinds of microphones as well is for console streamers or streamers who use 2 PC setups and something like that, because the USB and the XLR outputs are both active at the same time. So you can have one mic going to a computer, the USB connection, I would assume, and then an XLR, well, I guess the XLR interface would go to your main computer, and then the USB would go to another computer. That way you can have audio from the microphone going to 2 different places at the same exact time without having to need any complicated audio routing setup stuff. You literally just plug one to one computer, well, through the interface at least, then plug the USB into the other computer, and you're good to go. Just to prove that, I'm going to unmute the USB portion of this microphone, and you probably will hear me doubled. Now you're probably hearing me doubled, proving that both outputs are active at the same time. So this microphone right now is going for $55 on Amazon, and it's closest competitor in terms of style and features would be the Samson Q2U, as I've mentioned multiple times. The Samson Q2U being around $100, all the way down to about $70, depending on if you get a package or something like that. So let's say $70 for the microphone alone versus $55, and you're getting, I would say, probably roughly equivalent quality, a similar feature set, a better USB connector. It's kind of a no-brainer if you're considering the Q2U, but it's too close in price to some higher-end microphones, especially if you were considering an XLR. Then if you wanted to save some money, you probably wouldn't be sacrificing much of anything by going with the Maono, this microphone right here. It does have some really nice features as well. Something else that the Samson Q2U doesn't have is it has volume adjustment on the buttons right here. You can't see them there, but it has volume adjustment buttons on it and a slide switch as well. So if you wanted to mute the microphone by sliding the switch on it, you could do it that way as well. What I'm seeing with the microphone, the plus and minus volume control buttons on it is it's controlling volume of windows, not volume of the microphone. So I'm not sure if that's configurable or not, but every time I press it, it wants to change the music of or the volume of like music or something that I was playing. So up to you how useful that part is. It does have a headphone output for zero latency monitoring, so you have that too. You could use this basically as your sound card as well. So if you had your headphones connected to it, you had your microphone, you have your USB connected to it. This is speaking via USB. You can have everything routed through it and you'll be good. You'll have the monitoring, you'll have all your game audio and all that coming through it as well. But headphone output, up to you how you guys want to use that. Overall, pretty solid feature set. Something else that's a bonus versus the Q2U is that this comes with a shock mount. This comes with a pop filter. It comes with a stand, obviously, and it comes with a USB cable and an XLR cable. So it's pretty much the complete package for a dynamic microphone. And honestly, it sounds pretty good for the money. The USB, my conclusion on how it sounds via USB, not so nice. It's okay. It's definitely a little more nasally, definitely needs the tuning, and especially if you hear it side by side versus tuned XLR. So fortunately, that SteelSeries Sonar app to get it EQ'd over USB is free and pretty easy to use. Again, I'll drop a link in the description down below for you guys to have a look at if you wanted to get one of these and wanted to tune your USB microphones, be that a headset or a microphone like this, you could do it with that app. But like I mentioned earlier, for microphones being better with EQ, obviously they're all gonna be better with EQ, just how much better some microphones are gonna be. That AverMedia needed it, so it's miles better with EQ, whereas this one, it is a lot better with EQ. You can get away without needing it. It's still very clear. Over USB, it seems to lack a little bass. It does have a little bit of bass in XLR with no EQ, but yeah, you're gonna want to EQ this mic. But all things considered, it's pretty solid. All metal construction as well. It feels well made. Can't really complain, especially for 55 bucks. Could this be the best budget dynamic microphone with the max features and great build quality with a good sound in its price range, or just in general? Maybe. But if you're also wondering what the best budget webcam could be, you know what? I have a video for you. It'll be linked right over here and down in the description below. The best budget camera for live streaming to pair with possibly the best budget microphone for live streaming, maybe. We'll see. Check out that video. Drop a comment over there. If you have any questions about this microphone or any comments, I'd love to discuss with you guys in the comments below. Drop a comment down here and let's talk tech. Let's talk stream tech. Let's talk microphones, all that stuff. If you like this video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button and that bell so you don't miss a single upload. Also, I stream to Twitch every Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/Coalition Gaming Crew. So feel free to stop by, drop a follow, and let's continue talking more stream tech and gear and all sorts of stuff. I hope you found this video entertaining, informative, or otherwise useful. My name is Chris. This is Coalition Gaming, and I've been your stream technician. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.